So I am about to do a lesson, but this video, I just want to stress something out. God has shown me a lot about obedience. The obedience is better than sacrifice. Like, and I was like, Lord, isn't obedience sacrifice? Like, aren't they like two in one? And God's like, no. If you go on and obey, there's no need for a sacrifice. Sacrifice comes because something has to die. And so God taught me that about obedience. And then I was talking with my sister, play sister Lakia, and she was like, well, if there's something God told you to do and you don't want to do it, then don't do it. And I say, you don't understand obedience. Obedience has nothing to do with how you feel, whether you want to do something. It's about obedience. It's about submission. If your life belongs to God and He belongs to you, God has already made the necessary sacrifices to accommodate you. It is now your turn to accommodate Him. And even Jesus demonstrated this at the Garden of Gethsemane, where He said, not my will, Lord, but your will be done. In other words, He was fighting with His humanness at that time. He was fighting with His flesh. But He knew at the end of the day, one, He knew He was safe enough to come to God the Father, and which we can also do, and be like, look, I'm really not wanting to do this right now. But at the end of the day, understanding, yes, come to Him with how you feel. Yes, be honest with Him how you feel. But understand at the end of the day, your will is His will. You obey Him at the end of the day. And the deal is, no matter, this has been my experience, no matter how much I don't want to do something, and I don't want to do what God's called me to do, and I know how much hard work is going to be, the warring, the battle, all of that, I'm always thankful in the end. Here's a quick testimony. I was put over this summer camp. Didn't want to do the summer camp. God made me do it. Like, I tried so hard to get out of it. And God was like, no, you're doing it. Guess what? Somebody got saved. One of my staff members got saved from that. That is what obedience to God does. God is willing to do so much. And then also, He ain't got to ask you to do nothing. He ain't got to ask you. It's actually very much a privilege for God to be like, hey, I need this done out in the earth, and I choose you to do it. He doesn't have to choose you. He doesn't have to ask you. He's got cattle on 1,000 hills. If we don't worship Him, the rocks themselves will cry out. So the fact that He chooses you and is like, hey, out of billions of people, hey, I want you to do this, it's amazing. But of course, we as spoiled children of God, He's so sweet, He's so wonderful, we don't think of it in that way. We're like, I don't want to do it. But the deal is a gift and a blessing. And so I guess I just wanted to say that obedience is better than sacrifice. It is a blessing to obey. It is a gift to obey. And then also is a beautiful dynamic between God and His children. So there you go. Short lesson. Life with a Christian girl. Bye.